What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this The Flash Season 7, Episode 7 breakdown and review. After last week's episode, which I really enjoyed, I was really expecting and hoping Barry to be back to his flashing ways and taking down rogue metas or facing off against rogue forces, except, well, no. We got an episode which is just dull as heck, and they really are doubling down on this Nora Speed Force awkward thing for Barry. We open with one of the longest running tropes and jokes in The Flash of Iris making breakfast, and I have to say, what is it with Americans and their ridiculous spread of breakfast, then leaving the door just having some toast? I don't get it. I just have my cereal and that's it. It's always been the way in Britain. But however, it was Speed Force Nora who helped make the breakfast, and Iris didn't burn milk or some ridiculous thing this week. I'm incredibly unsure the point of this story with the Speed Force acting like Barry's mother. It's bloody weird, and I really think it's dragging down this season already in just 1 or 2 episodes. He's also glitching, but Speed Force Nora being close to him is supercharging his powers like a battery, and we have an episode of him having a clinging mother, which he accepts later at the end. Just like last week, I won't go into it too much as it's just absolute crap. Barry gets a call to go to a crime scene, which Chester also gets, and man, Chester is the real highlight of this season for me, and I am already missing his bromance with Cisco. He's with Frost, who gets her rap sheet read to her by Cecile and is told to lay low. They both head out together, and a Ivo Labs truck has been attacked by, well, what is meant to show Killer Frost doing this, except of course it wasn't her, and Barry works out that the ice particles, or whatever the term is, don't match hers, and a microchip has been stolen. Now, Killer Frost is the prime suspect, especially after Kristen Kramer has it out for her and also wants to put out a warrant for her arrest. Of course, the Team Flash will look into who really did this. Oh yeah, Allegra also exists and is back helping Killer Frost train as Chester tries to be the shoulder to cry on, as Frost is now laying low and he's working on the transmogrification face thingamabob, except Allegra knows Frost is up to something. Man, I forgot that Allegra was actually in jail, and here she's just playing babysitter, and I really expected them to go and navigate the Central City underworld, but she does nothing except drop a cool Amazonian reference. I feel the episode could have been a lot better if the whole Nora and Barry's kind of whole story plotline was just like one scene and we had more Allegra. I mean, if there's not going to be a Flash, at least use that time to flesh out the other characters, who, all of which I think this might be one of the best Team Flashes we've had in quite some time. Back at the crime scene, which feels grounded as Barry is backing off his powers as they're still glitching, and it's kind of cool seeing him as a proper CSI again, as Barry talks to Kristen Kramer about how it's clearly not Killer Frost, and she gives off real Priti Patel vibes there. Now, Nora arrives and tries to help, but causes Barry to glitch again because, I don't know, comedy, I guess. Now, Kristen sees Barry acting weird, and we here at the SuperHeroNexus HQ, my living room, think that she is actually onto him after that, but I guess that's just a hunch, and please don't clip this and catch me in 4K when it turns out to be not true. But we catch up with Frost, who has ditched Fast and the Furious Allegra and goes to the bar where she used to work at and gets served a drink and is thirsty AF over the new barman. I actually quite like this scene, as the guy who plays Chillblaine was really cool, and I think he was great in the role, but it's so ridiculously obvious he was the person who did the ice crime, it kind of ruined the episode. As Chester said, we got a John Wick parabellum story as Kristen goes on television while she's at the bar and offers a reward, and we have Frost wreck everyone and almost gets a date with Mark the barman, but we know how that turned out. Chester and Barry are working out the only clue of the different ice as the data is crunching slow as Nora arrives, causing Barry to glitch and break the computer. My god, that arc is absolutely atrocious. But however, CCPD arrived to arrest Killer Frost, and I never noticed how Barry and Caitlin live in the same building, as someone has tipped off Kramer that Caitlin and Frost used to be the same person as she's arrested. I was kind of shocked by this, which is always so good considering how predictable the danged episodes usually are. And I did like this, however, all the while Killer Frost has gone to a location that Mark, aka Chillblaine, tells her where a meta who caused all this is, and finds zilch, and then wants to break Caitlin out, except she is just let go, and Frost works out who is framing them as it's someone who knew her from before, and goes back and confronts the barman. We learn that he was the one who worked on the microchip and was stealing it, what he assumed was actually his. He was fired due to unethical cryo experiments, and considering his whole ice is the life and death, yeah, I'm not surprised. Maybe they changed the name to Bath, as he led Frost to the warehouse so he can scan and replicate her powers. And yeah, should we let's accept that's a thing and move on. He successfully replicated them and calls himself Chillblaine. Now, this character debuted in 1991 in the Flash Annual Volume 2, Number 4, and was a sidekick of the Golden Glider. Now, there's quite a few different Chillblaines, as Glider basically gets guys and lets them use Cold's tech for a bit, and after they've served their purpose, she kills them. There've been a few, like I said, and the last one killed Glider, leading him to be murdered by Captain Cold. Now, the fight was pretty cool, and John Core, who played him, was superb, and he will be returning to the show, according to his Twitter. They fight, and she stabs him, but she kills him, as she doesn't want to kill. She realizes that she has done bad things in the past, as the Metahuman Task Force arrive, and she needs to atone for them, and she'll just implicate Team Flash if they harbour her even more, and decides to turn herself in, as Barry and Iris talk about Nora, and finally they are both healed enough, and the next thing will be them taking on the Forces. That's their next mission, but the Flash is now on hiatus until May the 4th. Overall, this was a pretty dull episode, even if we did have Caitlin and Killer Frost's acting just absolutely superb, and I really love Frost here. And I was unsure about even doing a breakdown for it, as I found my old 3DS and is on a binge of playing old Zelda games, but here we are. And it was, yeah, a bit of a nothing filler episode, but I will be back tomorrow for Kung Fu, which, based on the comments, no one liked. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.